I came back from the Chicago conference on a quiet Sunday afternoon. The school had sent me there for a 3-day seminar on curriculum updates, and honestly, I was glad to get a break from the usual classroom chaos. But something felt off the moment I stepped into the house. It wasn't anything obvious. No strange noises. No signs of anything being moved. Just silence. An unfamiliar kind. "Hey, I'm back," I called out, placing my suitcase by the stairs. Lisa appeared from the study a few seconds later. Her smile was polite, not warm. She gave me a hug, but her arms barely held me. "Welcome home," she said, then pulled away. "How was it?" "Fine. Productive," I replied, trying not to overanalyze. Maybe she was just tired. Long flights did that. Later that night I unpacked. While putting some of my books back on the shelf, one fell, an old hardcover I'd bought years ago but never read. As I bent to pick it up, a folded paper slipped from between the pages. Curious, I unfolded it. It was a letter. A handwritten one. At first, I assumed it was something of mine. But the handwriting wasn't familiar. It was elegant, flowing, feminine. The words made my stomach tighten. "Last night was unforgettable. I still feel your touch. I miss you already even though you just left. When can we be alone again?" My heartbeat slowed, then quickened. I turned the paper over. No name. No date. Just that one short, devastating paragraph. I told myself it could be anything. An old draft from one of Lisa's novels. A piece of fiction. But something in my gut said otherwise. I slid the letter back into the book and placed it on my nightstand. Lisa came into the bedroom moments later. She smiled when she saw me reading, then crawled into bed beside me. "Long day?" "Yeah," I said, closing the book. "Just tired." She kissed my cheek and turned off the light. But sleep didn't come easy that night. My mind kept going back to the letter. Who wrote it? Who was it for? And how did it end up hidden in our bookshelf? That was the beginning. The very first thread in a web I didn't know I was caught in. And once I started pulling, everything began to unravel. The next morning, I left for work earlier than usual, not because of any urgent task, but because I needed to clear my head. That letter haunted me. I kept replaying every word in my mind, trying to recognize the handwriting, the tone. Was it someone I knew? Someone Lisa knew? During my lunch break, I pulled out old cards Lisa had written me over the years. Birthdays, anniversaries. I compared the letters, the curves, the slant of the S, the loop of the G. It didn't match. That should have brought relief, but it didn't. If it wasn't Lisa, then someone else had been inside our house. Someone who knew where I kept my things. That evening, Lisa made her signature mushroom risotto. We talked like usual, work gossip, a silly meme she saw. She smiled. She laughed. But I watched her more closely. I searched for a flicker in her eye, a forced tone in her laugh. Nothing obvious. After dinner, she went to the bedroom to grade papers. I stayed behind to clean up. That's when I saw it, her planner left on the kitchen counter. I wasn't snooping. At least that's what I told myself. I flipped through casually, PDA meetings, dentist appointments, and then something odd. A business card tucked between the pages. Greg Talbot, Landscape Design. I turned it over. On the back was a number and a single word, Thursday. We didn't need landscaping. We didn't even have a real garden. I slipped the card into my wallet and said nothing. Maybe she was planning a surprise for me. Maybe she wanted to fix up the backyard like she always dreamed. But paired with that anonymous letter, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was deeply wrong. Thursday arrived like a storm cloud. I told Lisa I was heading out early again, another department meeting. She kissed my cheek with that same distant affection. I left the house, circled the block, and parked a street away, watching from a distance. At exactly 9:04 a.m., a dark gray pickup truck pulled into our driveway. Same man from the camera footage. Same easy confidence. He got out, grabbed a small toolkit from the back, and walked up to our door. Lisa opened it within seconds, smiling wide. No hesitation. No nerves. Like this was routine. They stepped inside. I waited. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. Then an hour. At 10:17, I moved. I approached the house quietly, entered through the side gate, and slipped around to the back door. It was unlocked. Inside, the house was silent. No voices. No TV. I crept down the hall, every step echoing in my chest. And then I heard it. Upstairs. A laugh. Hers. My legs moved on their own. I climbed the stairs slowly, breath shallow. The bedroom door was open an inch. And through that inch, my world shattered. Together. Laughing. Shirts undone. I didn't enter. Didn't make a sound. I just turned. Walked back down. Out the door. Into my car. And sat. For a long time. I don't remember turning the key or shifting into gear. The drive was a blur, streets folding into each other like bad dreams. I pulled into a park 3 towns over, away from anyone who might know me. I needed time. I needed space. Mostly, I needed to stop the scream building in my throat. The letter. The footage. Her touch on his chest. All of it replayed endlessly in my head. I stared out the windshield at a group of kids playing tag on the grass. Innocent. Oblivious. I envied them. After 2 hours of nothing, I texted Lisa. Stuck at work longer than expected. Don't wait for me. She replied instantly. No problem. Be safe. Love you. The words felt like poison. That night, I slept in the car. My phone buzzed with missed calls. I ignored them. My world wasn't ready for pretending. In the early hours of the morning, I checked into a motel under a fake name. No questions asked. Just a room, a lock, and silence. I needed to decide what came next. Revenge? Divorce? Exposure? I didn't know. But I knew this. I wouldn't be the man she thought she could keep in the dark forever. Tomorrow I'd decide. Tomorrow I'd confront her, with everything. The morning light bled through the cheap motel blinds, casting long, tired shadows on the floor. I hadn't slept. My mind had been stitching together memories, conversations, all the tiny signs I'd ignored. The lies she told with a straight face. The weekends I worked overtime while she caught up on rest. The neighborly waves she gave Greg when I was around, perfectly timed, like a performance. By 8 a.m., I was back in my car, gripping the steering wheel like a lifeline. I didn't have a script. I didn't rehearse anything. But I had the letter in my coat pocket, the business card in my wallet, and the footage on a flash drive in the glove box. She was sitting at the kitchen table when I walked in. Coffee steaming. Her laptop open. Calm as ever. Hey, she said, surprised. Back early. I set my keys down slowly. Yeah. Thought we should talk. Something in my voice made her glance up. What's wrong? I pulled out the flash drive and laid it on the table. What's that? You tell me. She looked at it, then at me. I don't understand. No. I took out the letter. Then maybe you can explain this. Or this. I added the business card on top. Her face drained of color. She didn't speak. Didn't blink. Greg Talbot, I said, voice trembling but steady. Every Thursday. Every week. While I worked my ass off for this family. Wait. I've seen the footage, Lisa. I watched you touch him. Laugh with him. Invite him into our bedroom. She stood up suddenly, knocking the chair back. It's not what you think. Then what is it? I snapped. Enlighten me. Her lips parted but no sound came. I could see the excuses forming, the lies lining up, but none of them dared come out. I didn't walk in that day, Lisa. But I could have. I saw enough. She sat back down slowly, eyes glossy. How long? I asked. Her voice was barely a whisper. 6 months. The silence that followed could have swallowed the house whole. Why? I finally asked. I don't know, she said, tears falling now. It just happened. You were always busy. I felt lonely. He was there. I laughed, cold and hollow. So was I, Lisa. Every day. You just didn't look. She reached for my hand. I pulled away. This isn't fixable, I said, rising. I don't know what comes next. But it won't be this. Please, she begged. Can't we try to? No, I cut in. You already made your choice. And with that, I walked out. Not just from the house, but from the version of me that tolerated silence, excuses, and lies. That man was gone. What comes next is mine to decide. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. ChatGPT.